We need to up our game and shit. We need to do comedy butt naked, right?
Saying his goodbyes. He blew his eye socket off and his eyeball fell out.
White women keep kidnapping us. Y'all seen The Blind Side?
Aren't you glad we have that disclaimer at the beginning of the episode?
It's going to come in handy for this episode. This episode of the Voice Party Podcast is brought to you by Rich City Rides. Ride further, ride together. Get your ride on with Rich City Rides.
Welcome. This week's episode of The Voice Party. I'm your host, Corday Snell. With me, I have the very critically acclaimed dude, the best rapper that I know. Next to me, I got Black Joaquin rocking an amazing shirt. What up, Black Joaquin?
Thank you very much, Corday. Man, it's good to be here.
Hell yeah. On the ones and twos, making podcasts great again, we got Phil Spooner.
What's happening, honkies?
And the guy who brought this all together, the guy who is responsible for all this, the guy whose last name I just learned how to pronounce last year, Mr. JD Ardendia.
Still fucked it up, but thank you for trying.
No problem. And this week we got a super funny guy. I've known him, I think like a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. One of the tallest dudes I know, with one of the deepest voice that I know as well. We got the very funny, the talented Rob Edwards.
What's happening?
First podcast ever.
First one.
I'm honored that you came to do ours, bro.
Oh shit, we taking your V card? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Pause.
I feel unprepared. I ain't got no beef or nothing to talk about. I ain't got nothing for you. Like, you know what I mean? No baby mama drama, nothing.
Damn, that's good though.
That's good.
You gotta throw someone under the bus.
Throw
You can't
somebody
leave
under
here
the
without-
bus. Gotta, talk some shit about somebody.
Throw some SF comic that you don't like.
I ain't had me on bacon. Somebody airing me out on bacon. I ain't doing it. I see enough of that.
I heard you got a problem with Corday Snell. That's just
Tell us more
I
about
hate
that.
other big niggas. I don't. It's a problem. I gotta be the only big nigga on the fucking scene, bro. Yeah.
Well, technically, you technically are, because most big niggas can't fit on the screen. So that's we can't share a screen. We can't sit up right up front with each other because it's just
me and you couldn't be at that table right there. That wouldn't work at all.
Like, Rob, you just see this
in my elbow room, man.
And there's a lot going on already there, you know? Well, Joaquin's got his Ace Ventura shirt on, and it's like next to all these other little squares on your shirt, Corday.
Alrighty then.
Hey, thank you for coming out, bro. For real, man. I think you're one of my personal favorite comics to watch.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
You always got very unique jokes.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things, like you mentioned earlier, I've been wanting to say this to you in the podcast, is because I've asked you to do this like 6 months ago.
Yeah, 6 months in the making for sure.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about you is watching your IG story little like joke things you do.
Yeah.
That shit is hella funny. Because before I met you, I had followed you.
Yeah.
And I did not expect your voice.
Yeah, at all.
To match the jokes like in my head.
I kind of expected his voice because he's hella tall, right? But I didn't
know that.
I didn't expect his style when I first seen him. I was like, oh, this boy about to come up here and talk about some nigga shit. And he just like calm, cool, reserved. I was like, oh shit, I know he fuck a lot.
Based on his stories, I like the way his jokes on the stories are.
Yeah.
I thought his voice was gonna be like Steven the Seafood.
Oh, okay. That's calm. Oh, yeah. Not as deep in it, drawn out. You know, that's how Rob talks. You know, that's how we do it.
Well, the whole thing with that is, I figured if I type some shit out and people laugh at it, I can get reaction on that. I do it on stage with the voice and the delivery or whatever. Then that's how you can. Basically, it's me. It's an open mic without me going to an open mic.
Yeah.
So
you get an early like taste to see if it works.
So
Is that how you started stand up? Like, was that kind of a thing?
No, that was later. That was probably like 2 years ago. I really started.
Okay.
Like posting that shit.
Posting stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I started at open mics just like everybody else, just getting up.
Where'd you start? Like, where was your starting?
My first open mic was at the Tommy T's open mic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you started here in the Bay.
Yeah, I started in the Bay.
I thought you started in the South.
Nah. I started up here probably like 7 years ago, some shit like that. Yeah.
Are you from the South?
Yeah.
Okay.
Memphis,
Tell
Tennessee.
a little bit about yourself, your upbringing.
Born and raised Memphis, Tennessee, till I was about 14. Then we went to high school like in Idaho. Like, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kept me out of trouble. And then I went to school on the East Coast, and then after that moved out to LA. And then 7 years ago, moved up here. So I moved around quite a bit.
What college on the East Coast?
Regis College and Regis College, yeah. And then I did like a prep school out there too. So I was hooping back then.
Yeah, I figured.
So-
I was gonna say.
What? You hooped? Oh my gosh.
I was playing badminton actually. Pickleball. Sure.
I was an acclaimed chess player.
Okay.
He was like, I'm a BMX biker.
You were on the rowing team.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm hooping. Like,
Exactly. Running the point.
Like a running point guard. Yeah.
oh, shit.
Let's run a play. Computer blue. Darling Pinky. Ow.
That's a great segue, Corday.
So Rob, I heard you got a little beef going on or something like that. I was joking with you. Hey. Are you Buck Nasty? No. Oh shit! Wow.
Well, what's going on with you in the, like you mentioned it, something happened recently in one of your jokes.
Which one? You talking about the
I don't. So can we say names? Not that.
the dude, yeah. Well, basically what happened was I wrote a joke a week ago, and then a Netflix special came out with a very same. Yeah. So I mean, like, and people started like, DMing me like, oh, you think he's somebody? Like, no, like, there's no way he know who I am for one. And then
it's just like a coincidence.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence, which that's not even the first time that's happened to me. So it's like, it just sucks when that happens, and I'm like, fuck, that joke really worked when I did it too.
Yeah, you had already done it.
Yeah, I did it at Punchline, like the day before it dropped, I think.
It's crazy because that happened to me, and I stopped doing it because I didn't want people to think I was stealing.
Yeah.
It was I watched like I used to do is I did this joke about when like one of your friends dies.
Yeah.
And then I saw an old ass special George Carlin where he did the same thing where like the first thing that you think of when someone dies, like, but I just saw him, as if that like saves them, like that's like they can't be dead. I just saw him on Tuesday. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he had like a similar thing, and I was like, damn, all right.
Can't believe it.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna say like the one where it's like I asked him how did he die, and it was like of natural causes and shit, like it's like he didn't lose his toes or I'm fucking it up. My bad. This is terrible.
You had to be there.
Definitely. That's not my joke.
I saw you were defeating yourself at the end.
I don't know. I was like, this is terrible. This is bombing.
It's
fucking,
I just said,
don't mind me. Don't. So what other times has it happened where you've like started like writing a joke and then like you see
and then it came out where somebody who had worked it out or something like that?
Shit. It happened probably like a year ago. I forget who it was, but it was a joke about. Like I can't even remember now. But I mean,
well, what was the most recent one about?
White guilt blowjob.
That's all you gotta say.
Now here's the thing though about like why because I might try to do the joke still and just mention like try to like somebody else made a joke like that and kind of try to play off of that.
Yeah.
Because he didn't use those exact terms when he talked about it. And then like I don't know. I think my joke's better anyway. But that's just me. That's just me personally.
Well, you should still use it. I think it's better.
Huh?
I said if it's better, you should still use it.
You add a disclaimer.
I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna add a disclaimer and try to play off of it, but I don't know. We'll see.
When you're telling that joke, bring a little paper that says "Not Donnell Rawlings."
Right. Well, basically, after I get through with the joke, I'm thinking about saying like, if it kills, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you can't have this shit by yourself, Donnell. Like, we're gonna have to share it. It's ours now.
Community jokes.
Yeah, because you don't got a monopoly on black dudes getting their dick sucked from white women. Like that's not the only. Not the only one with this experience, my nigga. Like you gotta.
That's hilarious.
But
We've seen Get Out. We know.
we know, yeah. So
Yo, that movie was crazy too.
What was some of your like influences growing up, man?
definitely Dave Chappelle, the Chappelle Show, just in general. And then who else? I mean, growing up, I watched a lot of Comic View and
Hell yeah.
like Def Comedy Jam, all of that shit. It was I don't know. I've always loved comedy. It just not until 7 years ago it didn't occur to me. Oh shit, I could actually try and do this shit.
Were you a funny guy growing up?
No.
No.
Not at all. Well, I mean, like I'm more introverted anyway, and I got a fucked up sense of humor, so I know I can't just go around what I think is funny.
Yeah.
It ain't for everybody, so I just have to pick and choose. Like at work, everybody was surprised I do comedy. Like, you don't say shit at work. I'm like, because I want to keep my fucking job. I don't,
And that's that vibe I get, that most of the time you're quiet.
Yeah.
And you're just very stoic,
Yeah, for sure. I'm not trying to be the class clown if I don't have to. But, yeah, I mean, it's just mostly quiet usually. Yeah. It wasn't.
Were you always quiet and reserved, or is it because you're tall as hell? Does that ever play like that too?
I don't know. Is that all the tall niggas are quiet? Or?
Well, 'cause I was on a roll with a homie of mine, and he was talking about he's like quiet too because he's tall as shit, so he always get like a bunch of attention of like, oh my god, dude, you're tall as hell. Like, what sport do you play and shit like that? So if you're already kind of like more reserved about it because you get attention just from being hella tall, like you kind of not very outgoing because it's like, what team you play for and all those other questions sometimes.
You're used to people coming to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Or is the thing also where like it's a giant, like like it's a big dude, like I don't want to piss him off.
I mean, I don't know if it's that. I mean, I just I've never really been. Even before my growth spurt, I wasn't just out making friends and shit. So I don't know.
Okay.
But
out making friends.
Whatever kids do, I don't know how you fucking. But
I've never been a kid.
I had video games. I stayed inside.
I was never a social butterfly. Is what I'm saying.
You've always been taller than the adults in your life.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get taller than my mom till I was like, what?
12.
12? Yeah, 12, 11. And then once that happened, no more whoopings. It was like, I was like, you feel better now? Are you done? Like, tired of swinging at me? But, yeah. So. But yeah, I don't know if the height and the quietness is linked. But.
Well, because it does affect your personality a little bit, though, right? Like the tall aspect. I know, like big dudes would kind of does affect the way.
Yeah, I always have to be like extra like nice to people.
You got to be like gentle. Like
well, yeah, because I'm a plumber. That's the day job, so I got to go into people's homes. So I got to be extra. I don't talk this deep when I'm at people's doors. And shit. Hey, how's it going? Like it's got I got a whole nother vibe, bro.
Here to fix the plumbing.
Hey, yo, what's happening? Can I fix your water heater? Where's that? Like,
what the problem is?
What the problem? Like, these are old Asian people I'm talking to in San Francisco. It's like that's not gonna fly.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm like, so you do that, and then get them talking about the Warriors or basketball or something, and then they're cool to let you run around the house or whatever, do what you need to do.
You got to spark up some kind of interest to make sure that they're non-threatening.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. I got to get into the house without them being scared. So,
this ever happened to you? Like let's say if they don't have like look through the peephole, they kind of open up the curtains to see like.
Definitely. I've seen people do that and not come to the door. Yeah, and I'm like, you called me.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's funny you say that. Like when I worked in alarms, I remember I went to a house one time. And they opened the door. This was like in Marin, so And they're like, "Oh, hey, last time you guys didn't cut the hedges. I paid you to cut the hedges." I'm like, "I'm not the fucking gardener." You guys got like, bitch. You're gonna fix your alarm.
And they were like, "Wait, you're not Jorge?" No. Shoot, I'm sorry.
You've been eating.
I'm Jose.
Like, I'm paying you well. Eating good out here.
It's a trip working at people's houses.
It really is.
Yeah.
I talk about that a lot on stage. It's like the weird shit that happens.
What's the weirdest shit that's happened? I'm glad you're here because there's not a lot of people that do like home installation type shit or home service type work. You see a lot of wild shit.
You see wild shit, man. The weirdest shit that happened to me. Well, I'm already telling a couple of them like on stage. Okay. I'd say one that I haven't done on stage yet. It's well, basically, I was in Monterey. I forget what we were doing, but I was working on this lady's house. It's like an old white lady. She's a little, I don't know, she's on the spectrum or something. She was, I go in there.
Off to a good start.
Off to a good start. And like, so we're talking, and then she's like, you know, my first lover was a black man. Not bullshitting.
That's a hell of a way to break the ice.
That's a break, yeah. And then I'm like, cool, you know, like, do you want a high five because you were doing it before it was legal or some shit? Like,
I'm happy to hear that, baby.
I'm like, what do you want me? How do you know? I'm like, where's the water heater at?
Just to let you know,
right here, baby.
Let you know, make you comfortable.
It got weirder than that, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, she started. What did she say? She said something about. Fuck, I forget. She was bringing up some kind of book where she's talking about women and how it was a book about like women are the niggas of the world. This is a white woman saying this to me. She's like, we're the niggas of the world. We're all niggas. Niggas. I'm like, what are you doing? What the fuck? I'm like, I was not expecting this shit. And then even after that shit, it got weirder. She started kept talking, just all over the place with shit. She started defending Bill Cosby. No, because she was like, back in my day, we used to, you know, we didn't have Quaaludes, we didn't even have a party. Like everybody was doing it. I'm like, well, okay, that's your past. That's not everybody's truth, ma'am. Like, you can't put that on to everybody. So, yeah, that was just a weird. And then I don't even know how the fuck I got out of there, but
you fixed the job.
I eventually got the job done and got the fuck out of there. And I'm like,
those customers that sit next to you telling you stories while you're working.
I fucking hate when just leave me alone. Yeah. Like, go find something else to do. You got a whole other house you could be in while I'm working. Like, you know what I mean?
I was in Novato and I was working under a guy's house to fix like some cable line or whatever. And I went inside the crawl space. He had been talking to me the whole time. I was like, yeah, right on. Okay. older white guy, lived by himself in Novato. Big ass house. I crawl under there, and you know my fat ass is like heavy, like it's hard to, you know, I look like a fucking animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm under the house, so I don't hear anything, and I'm looking at the thing, and then I hear right behind me. I think the line you're looking for is over there. Scared the shit out of me. He crawled under the He crawled under me, bro. I was like, oh fuck, and it scared the shit out of me.
That's funny.
He's like, yeah, I think the line's over there. Like,
JD, he just needed a friend, man.
He just needed, like, how lonely you got to be to crawl.
Let me help him. Let me help him.
Well, you got to put knee pads on to be for friendship.
No, I'm wearing a fucking suit. Yeah. In there with his regular
just t-shirt. Regular. That's crazy.
So after you're done with the pipes, the game's coming on. Do you want to?
Right. I've actually had that happen too.
Really?
Yeah. When they're like, "Hey, come."
When they're cool.
There's a lot of cool people, bro.
Yeah. Very much so.
You know, I've had so many people give me like wine and all kinds of other shit and food and just, you know. Yeah, I work in San Francisco. There's a lot of old Asian people.
Yeah,
and you know when they're good, like a lot of them tip. They tip. Like they give you the little envelope and shit with like money in it.
I've had people come to shows.
Yeah. But then when they're not cool, man, it is weird, dog.
Hurry up and go by.
Yeah, something.
Hurry up and buy.
That's what it is.
Sometimes your own coworkers are fucking weird with them, man. Like, I've seen that a lot too, where it's like, goddamn, like I would hate to have this motherfucker in my house.
Oh yeah, right. I was working with this Mexican dude, and it was in a Fremont, and he kept doing this like Indian like accent, trying to do it. I'm like, nigga, stop! What are you doing? We're gonna get in trouble. He kept doing like, do. I'm like, stop, bro. Like like this is why I like working by myself, bro. It's like it can't be.
That happened with it's funny. It's a homie of mine. He made the customer uncomfortable. We were working at this dude's house like at 9 p.m. It was late, and we were installing an alarm system, and the dude's cooking late because he's like a night cop. So he's like chilling.
Yeah.
He's got his oldies on. What's that song? Something that's like Cadillac, something in the back.
Drop top cat. Wait,
You know,
diamond in the back.
Diamond in the back.
Rooftop.
Digging in the scene with the gangster lean. Woo.
Okay.
Yes.
He's listening to his music and he's dancing the cop, right? And my homie's doing this while he's working on some wire, and I'm in the back. And then once that part comes on, the cop starts singing it, and my homie sings too. like he's singing, and then my homie sang it too. And then my homie turns and looks at the guy like, "Yeah, it's a good song." And the guy turns the music off. He just laughs. Like, I'm done with this shit. I should tell him.
Like your homie's just like, hey, good taste in music, and he's like, I want none of this. I want none of your weird ass approval.
This ain't a duet, motherfucker. Like, yeah, I will arrest you. Fucking be that weird with me.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You do work mostly by yourself, or?
Oh, I don't do that no more. But I did all by myself.
He got fired. That's what happened. He got fired.
You know what? I didn't get fired, but I've been in the field for a long time, and I just like changed to a different career path.
Oh, for sure.
But I still do side jobs on my own.
Okay. Well, hey, there you go.
But I started, like, I've been working in that field since 2011. So like that's what I'm saying. Like since the 2011 to literally 2023, like you see a lot of shit.
12
Yeah. I've been a plumber for like
14
11 like since 2012, some shit like that. Yeah.
And it's a difference. It's a difference from working customer service at like a counter to working customer service in some motherfucker's house.
Yeah, it's very different.
It's very different, and you gotta be like, bro. You see some wild
shit, bro.
People like once they let you in their home, man. You see how fucked up the world is.
Hoarders. You see anything you've seen on TV, you can see it in real. Like
a hoarder wanted to install a security system with like 14 cameras in her house once. I'm like, no one's stealing this shit.
Nobody's taking any of this shit.
No one wants your newspaper from 1972.
Exactly,
the government doesn't
March
like
3rd.
you. You know, like what?
These are not comic books. I mean.
Yeah, like I've had some interesting, because I worked everywhere from like Ukiah down to fucking Santa Cruz and close to Monterey and all the way up to Manteca, you know. So I've been everywhere, and it's a trip, man. Like I thought, like I always like I've seen it all. I'm like, nah.
So yeah, my company be having us all over the place. We were doing a job in Texas. We were working on this apartment complex, man. Just guns everywhere,
Texas.
bro. Yeah, Texas. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, people just had their guns just laying everywhere. Like, it's different than out here in California. I don't know. It was just like, damn, like they strapped down there for real. I hope there ain't no Civil War for real.
Yeah. Even if you go like outside of like the big cities here, you see shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Stockton, Fresno, shit like that.
Yeah, it's a trip, man. Like, I had like one of the incidents like that I had that was kind of like I worked in this house. The lady's like, I'm not gonna be there, but my brother's gonna be there. He's in town. He's like, whatever. And then I get there, dude was like ex-military. Yeah. But he was like on one, you know. And I get there. I put my tools down in the living room, and he's smoking out of a glass pipe. I thought it was weed at first.
It was.
When you see them lighting the bottom like this, like,
that's
so how long you been doing this?
That's not a
good
The dude was like, so how long you been working in this?
Yo.
Like, he's talking to me like normal. Like, hey, so how long you been doing this job? And I'm fucking heating up his meth pipe. And then he's like, where you from? And at the time, I was like, I'm from Richmond. He's like, man, fuck Richmond. And then I saw he had like an M16 and shit, man.
Shit. I ain't never got set tripped on the job.
And it's funny because it was like some white dude from San Rafael. So then I think I shared this story before. I saw he had like a loaded weapon, or I don't know if it was. It was like an AR or something, and he was telling me he was in Iraq. And I was just like, right on, man. And then I grabbed my tools, like, I gotta grab one more thing, I'll be back. I went to my truck, and then I put my tools in the thing, and then I got in the front seat, and I pretended like I was looking for something, and I just, and I started driving away, and he saw me. And then I fucking saw him like the fucking T-1000 running behind me.
Oh shit!
And I just like, ran 2 lights because I was like, oh, hell no. And I told this dispatch, like, yo, I'm never coming back to this fucking house.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what I'd be worried about that shit, like when they waking up and shit and they don't, you know, because sometimes I'd be working with like the maintenance guy and he'll let me in. Somebody's in there sleeping, and I'm like, bro. Sometimes they don't want to go in there. I'm like, motherfucker, if you ain't going in there, I'm not going in there. Right? I mean, somebody pull something on you, so you gotta be.
And that's happened. It's crazy how that's happened.
Yeah. So.
Did you see a fucking, what are you, 6'4"?
Yeah.
6'4" black man.
It's not. Yeah.
He pulls out the shotgun.
Especially in Texas too. Like.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it was at. I was like, bro.
Damn, y'all.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, bro. you got to go in first.
Yeah.
You are the human shield, not me.
Explain to them that I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just fixing something, sir.
Right.
Like I'm not doing anything else.
I'm making a bit about this because this is something that, like, as a Mexican, I experience when I go work on like a rich white family, because usually they have like a Mexican handyman. You've seen.
Yeah.
And whenever I do go work in one of those, like a lot of the times, us Mexicans, we're very competitive with each other, bro. And this has happened a lot where I walk in and I see their little Mexican handyman there, and he looks at me like,
beef on site.
These are my whites. You stay away from them.
These are my white people.
These are my whites. And it's like, it's on that level where it's like, I see you, puto. Don't you even fucking try to leave a card. And it's like, he probably tells the customers, did he give you a card? Rip it right now. It's like that, bro. It's like very like, don't touch my whites. These are mine. These
Probably
are spoken for.
house niggas were back during slavery. My master, get away from Get away from him.
Don't be out here doing no slave revolt. Don't be out here.
Yeah, don't be out here.
He treat us good. Do you know?
This is my side of the plantation. You know that. Get back.
Keep your black ass in the field.
Exactly.
Exactly.
The hell you doing in
Don't even
Massachusetts?
look in the direction of the kitchen. You hear me?
Bringing that dirt up in here. You supposed to stay outside.
Wait.
There's like a Mexican thing where, Mr. George, you got to fire that guy, Mr. George.
No. I saw him stealing. He was stealing.
He's no good, Mr. George.
He was no good. No.
I think he's done it.
No good. No.
There can be only
There
one.
can only be one.
Yeah, bro. It's like,
Really happened though? Him staring at you.
yeah, like with the little like fucking like, he fucking puto. This guy's fucking fat. Don't hire him. He's like, you know, like I get that. Like I've gotten that a lot.
Really?
Yeah. I felt it like where their Mexican wasn't like, you know, it's kind of like when a dog sees another dog.
Right. Yeah.
That's how
Fuck
it
off my
feels.
place. Territory. They just start peeing because they got a market. He just starts putting his toes out.
That literally happened when I had to like cut into the wall to run wires.
Yeah.
That motherfucker did all that work for me. He's like, I built the house. I know what's here. I know what's here.
Right this way. Come on.
He's like, I remodeled it. I know. I've been everywhere in this house. I've been inside those walls. I'm like, okay, dude, fuck it. All right. And he drilled all the holes for me, and he did all that shit. And I was like, all right, well, just because he didn't want me to do anything. Cause that, like, yeah.
Like, oh, good work.
Are you on the fucking wheel, though?
They're supposed to leave this house to me?
Mr. George, es muy gordo ese señor, Mr. George. Yeah. It is like that though in the field with like workers.
Yeah, it does get.
It does get a little like competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just as cutthroat as comedy.
Yeah. Definitely. You don't want to get buried by somebody else, for sure.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So you've been doing stand-up for 7 years. When you started stand-up, like what, you started at Tommy T's Comedy Club? That's the first
Time I went on stage, yeah.
What do you remember about like
that?
What made you want to do stand-up?
Shit, I don't even know, bro. It was a random. It just was kind of like, fuck it. I don't know. It wasn't really nothing big that happened. I was just like, I mean, plumbing pays the bills. It ain't some shit I want to do the rest of my life, though. So it was like, at that point, I was just trying different shit, trying to figure out, trying to find what I like to do type shit, and then did that. And it did not go well, but at Tommy T at all. I only had a few jokes, and fucking, I got really drunk to deal with the nerves.
Hilarious.
And then, the Hennessy backfired, and I fucking, I went blank, like on stage type shit.
Did you fight somebody? Did you fight?
Nah. No, but it was really bad because when you get off stage and somebody they get on the mic and go, this comedy thing isn't easy to do. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, when they gotta give an explanation after you get off stage, nigga, I was like, that will never happen to me again.
Yeah.
And
that's like when Tony Sparks would say, "Ooh, not for everybody."
It was not for me that night, for
Not
sure.
for everybody.
Was it Jerry Law hosting?
I don't remember who was. I think it was just somebody in the. No. Okay. It just in somebody in the back. I think it's a white lady just kind of calling people up.
Okay, because what time?
So,
Go ahead.
So on that same note, I just saw Tony Sparks tell that to someone at Fluid. He said, "Ooh, my condolences, brother."
Because I remember one time Jerry Law was hosting, we did Sack Punchline one time, and me and a homegirl always talk about this. Like, dude goes up, bombs hella bad, and then he was just like, Jerry Law comes back up. He's like, yeah, man, what y'all need to understand is that comedy is hard.
Yeah. You do not want somebody to say that after you get off stage.
Because he did 10 minutes of silence. And I was like, then I started looking at my homegirl. I was like, this the dude you dating?
Is this your king?
I was judging her in the moment. I was just like, hey, I don't know about this one. You might need to.
Go do poetry.
Yeah. Something. But then I did Rooster Teeth after that, and the next day, and it went a lot better.
Okay, there you go.
That's because I remembered what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So
and that's cool because a lot of people after like the first time.
Exactly. And I can't. I was like, man, I don't know. Maybe that was just a one-off thing, but then kept doing it. So yeah.
Like, who was your inspirations for your style? Because you have a very like different, unique style. Like it's like a slow delivery, and you kind of with the punches like.
So, I mean, the slow shit. When I started, I was talking real fast, and it just wasn't hitting as hard. Okay. So I just kind of like, calm down, kind of get comfortable.
Oh, you were like,
type shit. Yeah. I was talking faster than I should, and then like my style, like kind of like the kind of dry, kind of angry delivery. It's kind of like. Bernie Mac was kind of on the angrier side of his delivery. I like Bill Burr. He's kind of angry, kind of And then I just had to get comfortable in the silence while you're building towards the punchline. Yeah. So like just get comfortable type shit.
Sometimes that's the hardest thing for me. Like I remember several comedians would tell me, slow down. I was like, nah, man, I'm good. What you talking about? I ain't got to slow down, stuff like that. My jokes be going good. And then I finally started listening back to myself. I was like, ooh, I was going kind of fast. Or let it breathe.
Let it breathe.
I usually let stuff breathe, but the sitting in silence is something that like is always like the harder thing because the build up. But the let it breathe though, I can like I'm just like if I'm laughing,
going longer.
Yeah, like. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because some people say it's like the laughs per minute type shit. Yeah. I'm not a laughs per minute comic. I go for the hardest laugh or whatever. Yeah. So, it's just figuring out how you gonna do it and building your own kind of style.
I feel like a lot of black comics do that, or like. We go for the big laugh, and because the laughs per minute thing, I always think that's one-liners, that's more of a, you say, versus like, we building something, like listen to it, and then when you're like
telling a story.
Yeah, and it's at the end of the minute, like you'll hear a big-ass laugh compared to laugh kind of a thing.
Exactly, so.
But that's also what you build to, because when you're starting off, you only got like 5 minutes. You gotta once you get more, longer sets, like right now, like you're like fast forward to today, you're a past comic at a couple of places, right?
Yeah.
Where do you perform at?
Last
Unlimited, right?
Well, I've been featuring at Last Unlimited
nice.
A couple of times, and then some other out of state kind of clubs just off of that World Series stuff. And
Oh yeah, talk about that. You won second place in the comedy series.
yeah, I got second.
He won second place.
I was the first loser.
Nah, but that's big because I'm in the World Series this year too, and I'm just trying to figure out which. But yeah, that's still huge. So when I was like, my motherfucker, Rob, fucking yeah, hell yeah, dude.
So for our listeners who don't know, describe the World Series.
All right.
Well, basically, it's like a traveling comedy competition festival type thing, and they do like satellites at every different bunch of different clubs around the country. And then if you go there and you win the satellite, you get to feature there, which is how I got the feature spots at Laughs Unlimited.
Oh, okay.
And then you go to the main one in Vegas, and I think it's like 100 comedians or whatever, and you compete, and then they pick a top 3 at the end of it, basically. So yeah, and whenever I compete in competitions, because I have a dark sense of humor, which doesn't typically win competitions. So, because all you gotta do is make one judge uncomfortable, and that's it.
Yep.
That midget joke alone.
Yeah,
No.
that's my favorite joke, though, bro. I tell you, because I know I'm the only motherfucker to think of that. So it's like, but yeah, like I did that joke, and that's probably why I got second place. I had that or the green eggs and ham, and I chose to do.
How tall were your judges?
How tall? They were shit. Not tall enough, apparently. Yeah, but I mean, it was cool for sure. In Vegas, drinking most of the time.
Oh, that was in Vegas.
Yeah, it was in Vegas. It was at the Strat, I believe. Yeah.
Well, okay.
And then they got us the Dirty After 12:30 or Dirty at 12:30 shit. We did that show too, so. It was cool. Definitely a cool experience, for sure.
So, when was this? What year was this?
This was last year in September.
So 2023.
So that's gotten you some opportunities from the.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's mostly just for connections, really. I mean, like you don't even really have to. There's like a meet and greet type deal. Yeah, it's a networking thing, which I suck at, but even I could do it there. Yeah. So
Yeah, I was trying to go to the main event just for the meet and greet, networking shit. Like I was talking to Drew Schaefer, who does well as those things. Cause I was like, I heard like, oh, you can like sign up and like get spots on cruise lines or just meet like other bookers from like other clubs. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to, cause it would be like a way for help me get out of teaching, but also just like, all right, well, this weekend I'm here, this weekend I'm there. Like, oh, I'm on a cruise for like a week or something like that. So yeah.
What's one of your like goals with comedies? Is one thing you want to like have as your full-time gig eventually? Or?
Yeah, I want to quit my job and do it. I mean, I don't need to get like super big or whatever. I just want to be able to pay my bills with it. I mean, like whether or not it works out or not, I'm gonna be doing it probably the rest of my life anyway. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean,
that's what manual labor does to you, bro.
It's just, I'm like, I got to get out of this shit somehow.
I have this joke about how manual labor sucks so much that's why Jesus just quit being a carpenter. Like,
you don't see any of his tables, no chairs,
fuck it,
nothing.
I'll just tell everyone I'm God. Fuck it.
God. I will get crucified before I make a chair. Before I make another chair.
Fucking kill me, fuck it.
In my head, I was like, did he make that cross? Like that's why he was mad.
Ironically, that's something a carpenter made.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, damn.
He was like, I gotta carry. That was the hardest part because he carried the thing he made.
Yeah, he had to build his own
wood.
shit.
You gotta look at wood one more time.
Exactly.
Before.
It's like when they used to make me go pick my own switch. It's fucked up.
And
the
then
tool of my destruction. You gonna make me.
And then they always say, don't grab a small one. I'm gonna grab a big one.
I'm gonna come in here with a branch.
Yo, you ever try to come with a smaller one and they tell you to cut it?
Go back and get a different one.
I remember one time my aunt tried to say, go out there and grab a switch, but luckily the branches on the trees had all fell off, or somebody came and cut them all down. So we got away. But then like she found one of my
What do you mean switch?
Huh?
What do you mean?
Switch is a stick.
It's like a
to
stick.
get
Get hit.
Yeah, to get hit with instead of a belt, because like they say like that's not, you ain't learning enough from the belt.
You gotta have the psychological.
You gotta use a switch on them. Yeah. So because it hurt way more. And then
Yeah, that's like when they hit you with the chicote, the one they hit the bulls with.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's what.
And then if the belt will hurt if they heat it up before.
Heat up the belt. Hey, damn. That's y'all went a lot harder than we did. They said heat up the belt.
Yo, my cousin
Got the belt on the skillet. God damn.
My aunt told my cousin to cut a switch for her, so he came back with a crass gravity. He came back with a blade of crabgrass, man. Like,
Shit.
I remember
it was over.
I think one time, me and my cousin, like, we had to grab a switch. I think we found something, all right? And then after that, the next time we went outside and play, we threw every single, like, tree branch just, like, over the neighbor's fence. We was like, fuck this. We ain't getting hit with none of that stuff. So then I think we got in trouble again because we was throwing branches at people's yard. They said, you want to out here just be throwing creating yard work for other people? We was like, nah. They was like, you got to pick it up, but we going to put those in the green bin. And we was like, hell yeah. Because, like, now they about to get all the branches going to be taken away. We good for at least several years.
Cut down all the fucking trees.
All the trees.
Just cut them down.
All the trees.
Deforesting for a better future.
Exactly.
So you guys also got hit growing up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My mom was the whooping queen. She was the aunt, or my mom, like, she was the aunt that whooped everybody else's kids. Like,
Oh,
you know
shit.
what I'm saying? So it'd be like, don't make me go get such and such. And I was just like, ugh. And the people would say, hey, how do you live with her? Like, her whooping's hurt. And I was like, yeah, I know. So how you live with that? I'll be good.
I got whooped for laughing one time.
Oh my God.
At a whooping, because it was the funniest shit. My dad was gonna whoop somebody, like one of my siblings, and they fell, like, I think it was either my brother or my sister, and then he tripped over my sister.
So he got up. Yeah.
So he got up and he did, and then I was like, and then I got one too.
No, so yeah, I remember my mom used to whoop my younger siblings, and then I would see it, and I would just start cleaning. She's like, why you always be cleaning when you be whooping your other siblings? I was like, because in the moment, I think you gonna remember something I'm gonna do. So if you just see me cleaning or wiping
right
something
now.
down, you gonna think positive things of me.
Preoccupied, Mom.
Yeah.
Like, what's
Mom,
up?
you did a good job hitting her. She deserved it.
Now, whenever, like, because I have a younger brother, younger sister, like, whenever we get whoopings, I'd try to make sure they got theirs first, because they'd run away and tire her out. And by the time they got to me, it'd be like, hi, you. And I'm like, my sister would take off, bro. And she'd take off. So
My sister would too. So my mom would always make sure I went first. Because it was gonna be like a battle, so I'd go through, like, I'll get my little hits, stuff like that. Like, okay, cool. And then my sister would be just all of us, because she would whoop us in the room. And then, like, I'd get my few hits, and then she'd, like, close the door, and then I would just hear, no! And I just hear commotion.
she was like, yeah.
One time, my mom always tell the story that my sister, like, was about to get a whooping, and then so she instead of getting a whooping, she ran away and then dived underneath her bed. And then my mom was so damn frustrated, she tried to lift the bed up, and then my sister rolled to one side, and then she, like, lift that side, she rolled to the other side. So she calls my dad. She was like, get in here, help me with this bed. And then she, like,
Teamwork.
My dad lifted the bed up.
Teamwork.
And then, like, just started whooping her. My mom grabbed me and started whooping her like that.
I ain't never got the double whooping, bro. That's why.
No, my dad didn't. My dad didn't do it. So this is the funny thing about it. My mom was the person who whooped you. My dad was the person who come and talk to you afterward. To kind of console you,
Good
right?
cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
My mom was the judge.
Yeah.
My dad was the executioner.
Yeah.
My mom had arthritis young.
Yeah.
And my dad was just like,
Stretch it forward.
Mama's just like, guilty.
Guilty. Come get him.
Right?
and my dad's like, this is not personal.
You know I love you still.
But your mom says,
I'm on the payroll.
Exactly.
It's just a job.
Because my mom, she was like, have you ever seen, because at that point she started getting arthritis.
Yeah.
So have you ever seen Casino?
Yeah.
When, what's his name?
Danny DeVito?
Joe Pesci's character, he's like doing too much coke where he's hitting the dude. He's like, hey, finish him off. That's what my mom. That's what my mom was.
Hilarious. I still got mad one time. My parents switched it up on me. Like I think I was eventually gonna tell this story. I was like, usually your mom come in and then you get whooped, and your dad come and console you. Your mom whoop you, then your dad come and console you. I was like, one time my dad came in the room and talked about everything I had did, and I was like, we was really disappointed in you. I'm super sorry. Like, you shouldn't have been doing that. You should have just called us and let us know. And I was like, okay. And then I hugged my dad. I was like, I love you, Dad. He's like, I love you too. Then he got up. He was like, well, your mom about to come in here. and then my dad opens the door. My mom just there with the belt. I was like, Dad, I thought you said you love me. I do. That's why you're getting the whooping right now.
It's like a tag team.
The old switcheroo. Gotta keep you on your toes. Okay.
Your dad said basically, honey, I gotta go to the bathroom. I need to get this knocked out real quick, okay?
Hey, it's like a tag team.
Like, I got somewhere to be. Let me go first.
Game's on in 15 minutes.
Tag your mom. She comes into the ropes.
He did used to go to church a lot, so I think he did have to go to church that day. It was so bad. I was
They
like,
had to reverse the routine for times.
I think my mom said Jesus don't want you to whoop us.
Hey, I can't go to church with this on my conscience. Hey, what? You got big whoopings too? Because you're bigger, so they need to like punch you.
No.
Hit you with a steel chair. That
punch him in the chest.
Fucking Alabama, fucking
Yes.
Riverfront me. No, nobody was doing that. But it was really just my mom. I mean, I feel like she was always reasonable though. I was. Yeah, she'd just be like, hey, go do this. And then I might not do it. And then she'll come back and she'll be like, hey, go do this. I'm going to beat your ass. And then I wouldn't do it. And then she'd just come in and beat my ass. And so it was a process. And I always knew where I was at in it. And if I didn't do it, so.
You knew you deserved it.
Yeah, I never got a whooping where I was like, damn, she really didn't have to do that. Like, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. You got nothing else to threaten me with. This is before I had a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I used to get stuff taken away. Mad taken away.
Yeah, my parents were creative with their punishments once I got older.
Yeah.
Like, I can't just hit them no more.
Yeah,
Like,
gotta
they take stuff away or, one time, this was like before I got older, but my brother and I used to always fight. And one day they tied us together in a hug position.
That's different. That is definitely different.
Like, you don't get along.
All those endorphins is when you hug somebody.
And my brother, when she was like, my brother fucking, motherfucker, fucking like,
How long were y'all like that for?
She did it for a while, man. She was like, she made sure we knew our lesson. But 2 weeks later, it's another fight.
Right.
And another time when I ran away from home.
Yeah.
I was little. I remember they punished me good. Like I couldn't find any toys, bro. It was. I think I was like 8 years old or something. And then she said, if you don't like it, you could leave. And I packed all my toys in a bag. and I walked out.
I love this. So the strategy of keeping you there was to take everything that you liked away from you.
That was like the first time where it was like, you're not getting hit. Like, we're going to fuck you psychologically.
There you go.
I think one time I packed up, and then I was thinking about packing up, but I was smart as a kid. Like I thought logically, I packed up. I was like, I ain't got a suitcase. What, I'm gonna pack a lunch pail? I was like, I can't fit my clothes in there. And then I was like, how am I gonna get to grandma's house? I don't know. I can't walk on the freeway. So I was like, well, this ain't gonna happen.
This ain't gonna happen. They have Uber back then. Right? These kids who run away now, they don't know how difficult it was back then.
Did this ever happen? Does it ever happen to you? Like you got on punishment and the punishment was worse than a whooping, and you was like, you can't whoop me.
Just hit me.
Just hit me. Just hit me.
Yeah. She took my PlayStation.
I remember,
Absolutely.
my mom took TV away from me for a week. And I was just like, what am I supposed to do? Meanwhile, me and my sister both got on punishment. So I got TV taken away from me for a week, and so did she. But she was like cool because she had a ton of books, or she can somehow she was able to get on the computer. And I was like, how is that not TV? And then halfway through,
found a loophole.
Yeah, and then my mom was like, oh, good point. Yeah, get no computer. She's like, what? But so she had all these books, and I'm just sitting there because I think I was in middle school. No more toys. So I'm just looking at video games, reading the back of it.
Reading previews of fucking video games.
Imagining how good it was.
Yo, I used to get grounded. No company, no video games, no TV, no music. So I just read through the encyclopedia. Or whatever books I had. In my room. I know so much about both Roman gods and the planet. Just because of that.
And that stay in your room shit didn't matter once you discovered jacking off.
I mean, you gotta fill the time with something, I guess.
Cornet's all like, yeah, you're right.
Nah, I mean, like,
I got people watching this show.
I'm fucking with you. I
didn't jack off at an early age, so that's why.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so that's why.
You ain't get grounded at 17.
just being real. Just being real. I didn't jack off at an early age. So.
No? All right.
No.
Now let's change the subject. Back to comedy, Rob.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, if it's,
I'm sorry. You had to ruin the.
Back to whoopings.
I'm about to say, Bay Area ain't gonna like this episode. It's about half about child abuse. Like, you guys need therapy. Like, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
At least 3 people here are stand-up comedians. I agree.
If there was one more reason we needed to not like Rob Edwards.
Yeah. I don't know. Are there comics who don't like me? I don't know.
No, I don't know, dude. Is there?
I'm not around enough for anybody
Yeah,
not
that's
to like me.
what I
I feel
figured.
like I just show up, tell my jokes, and dip. I be trying to sleep or get pussy or something. I'm like, I can't do that. Hanging out with y'all, man.
The last time I remember it was weird because I've never seen you outside of a show. Was when we went to go get Chinese
the
food.
Chinese
Yeah.
food.
Oh, you were there too.
Yeah, I was there. That was a good time.
Yeah, that was a good time. It's like, hey man, you guys notice Rob's still here?
Yeah, that food was good. I need to go back there.
Man, that shit was bomb as fuck. Yeah.
And that was a fun night.
Yeah.
I missed those, random copper spoon crowds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been to the new Fluid.
Fluid.
Yeah, I heard it's not as popping as Copper Spoon was. But
Nah, it's popping.
it is.
It's
Okay.
back.
It's starting to be more popular.
starting to be more
Starting to? Okay.
The only problem with it is just parking's harder.
Yeah.
It's like way harder. You know, I used to
Yeah.
park and then just like right across, right? That's the hardest.
It's a fun room now.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Where is Fluid?
It's in downtown
Oakland?
Yeah, like go right off like Broadway, is it? Or
Yeah, right on Broadway.
Yeah, so yeah.
Right
It's-
next to Nug on Broadway.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you smoke weed, but
Used to.
Used to.
Yeah. Back in the pothead days, I was not productive, so I had to let that
okay.
go. Yeah, but
that happens a lot, man. When I'm already lazy.
right, like I'm already inclined not to do shit.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
you get something to enhance it. And I'm gonna be on the fucking couch.
Yeah, and I could chill if I fucking.
All right, you know what I mean, like I'm the chillest chill motherfucker you can find.
Like if I'm full and I got a show to go to, it's gonna be hard to get if I'm like in a blanket and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
That's why sometimes I don't eat a lot before a show because I know like that drive to the show.
Yeah.
Be very tiring. Could be like food digestion. You just trying to stay up. Just like, oh, come on, you can do it. Come on, we almost. Well, that's why sometimes I don't eat before shows.
Yeah, I
like,
typically try to avoid eating. Just be drowsy as fuck.
yeah.
we just got the light, bro. And I think we need to have you back here again.
Yeah, it was
A lot of fun, man. You're good on the podcast, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it. First one, man.
Yeah.
Very good for your first time. Yeah.
Real quick, do we have any shows coming up like in April that you want to put? Because this won't come out till like mid-March.
Oh, okay.
Any shows you want to?
Shows I got coming
plug.
up in April. I have to pull my fucking phone out.
That's the chillest voice ever, man. That's the chillest guy.
I'm doing like on the 26th, like the hometown bowl. It's like in South San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
And then there was something else that I have not put on my calendar yet. But yeah, I got shows. They'll be on Rob Tells Jokes.
There you go.
Yeah, what's your IG? Plug your IG.
Rob Tells Jokes.
Tells jokes.
If you can't spell it, then I don't want your fucking phone up. Yeah, so that's pretty much,
Right on, bro. Hey, thank you again for coming out here, man. Any last messages you want to give our listeners? Any last?
Nope. Hope you enjoyed the shit.
That's been the voice part.
And we're out.
For sure.